Well, a new year is upon us, always time for a new start. And what could be more important than wrangling in your personal finances? Carmen Rita Wong is host of the only national daily personal finance television show, On the Money, on CNBC, and she joins us via satellite to reveal the 4 financial resolutions everyone should make this year. Welcome, good to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so it's not too late to resolve to do better in 2015. So what are those 4 financial resolutions that everybody should make?
Well, you know, I've boiled it down just a little bit to make it easier to digest, but also to make it a system instead of just 4 standalones. I've got a little system going. You know, this time of year, as you know, most folks are committing to their gym or committing to getting healthy by a certain time. This is the time to commit to your financial health, right? So first, that's the first resolution, is make this the time. Commit to 2015 being your year of financial health. What that means is, number 2, we spend so much time on saving and investing, right? We research to get the lowest price. We research to, where our money should be in the markets. We need to spend just as much time, at least this year, into getting into place the protection, the financial protection that we need, which is the basis of our financial health. What is that? That's number 3. These are the insurance products available to you, whether it's life insurance, disability, also your emergency savings fund for big expenses that can pop up, especially medical expenses. These will protect you and your family so that you don't have to use your savings, your retirement savings. And 1 in 3 of us, these are the stats, and the chances will be disabled during our working lives. And that's a lot. That's a very big chance. And for women, the odds are even higher. So you want to make sure to have those things into place. Number 4, well, how do you get these things into place and make that commitment? You set dates. Research shows it's just basic human behavior that you need to have dates in the calendar, not far away, not all of 2015, but up close. So let's talk about March, April. By April, all insurance, you got it where it needs to be. By May, you have all your savings automated so that by the summertime, you're in great financial health.
So what advice do you have for the people who say, oh, come on, we survived the Great Recession. Everything seems to be going our way. I mean, gas is $2.50 a gallon. Everything's pretty much peachy right now. So why worry?
Oh my gosh. Well, everything's peachy maybe on the outside, but what about your insides? Which I'll say, things happen. I always find it interesting, that folks, they get insurance for their car. A lot of states, of course, it's by law, but we think about what happens if something happens to the car. But we don't think about the same things about ourselves. We are far from invincible. And what's happening in the market has nothing to do with our own health and the things that can happen with us. So just as we need to be prepared and think strategically about investing and what happens in a really bad bear market, what happens when the market really drops, that's its own injury, right? Or its own sickness. We need to worry about that with ourselves. And the odds are, just with the market, what goes up comes down, and even if you're in the best of health, maybe your spouse or who you have a home with, this person ends up going on disability for a year. How are you going to pay those bills? We all need to think about the worst case scenario for our own health. And once we do that, though, once that's all in place, then you don't necessarily have to think about it for quite a while.
Well, there are plenty of people out there offering to help you with all of this. And in fact, the barrage of advice can be confusing. So what do you do to sort out the wheat from the chaff?
Well, about almost half of employers now offer financial wellness programs, and this is tied to their benefits programs. If you think about the health wellness program that your employer may provide, for example, this is, a reduction on your insurance costs if you sign up for a gym or a smoking cessation program, all these savings there, they want to move that over to your financial health and wellness. And a big part of that for them is, if something happens to you, can you weather that storm financially? It also helps you, of course, to worry less about if those things happen. So you can find out a bit more information through your employer and your employer benefits. You can go to prudential.com/financial wellness. And if you employ yourself, if you're self-employed, you own a small business, you can go to the Insurance Information Institute, III.org, to learn more about specifically life insurance, term policies, and disability policies for yourself.
If people have resources at work, you'd think they'd take advantage of them. After all, it's a benefit. If you don't, it's like leaving money on the table.
I wish more did, but the numbers aren't where they should be. A lot of folks, unfortunately, tend to say, I'm too busy, or it's too complicated, or they're fearful of the whole process. You know, it doesn't help that, of course, certain times a year you get these giant packs of information, right, that are very daunting. Seems like a lot of homework. Here's the thing. Instead of starting with those packs of information, start with yourself. First of all, what situation are you in? What do you need? Do you have a mortgage? Do you have people that depend on you? Then it's, where's your knowledge base? Do you know, separate from your employer, how much you will need to replace your income should you be out of work for a year or more, or even just 3 months or more? What happens if your spouse passes away unexpectedly? Are you in a position to take care of yourself financially? Then, you know, what's my debt load look like? What should go away? What shouldn't? And then where should I be saving more? That will really help you. It gives you a great baseline to start from.
So look, we're already midway through January, so now is the time to get going. So again, once again, what are those 4 financial resolutions?
Commit to being financially fit this year. Spend a lot of time in looking into building your financial foundation. That financial foundation, learn about it. It's those insurance policies and your emergency fund savings. And 4, put that into place, all of them within a certain time frame. Get it in your calendar.
Sage advice from Carmen Rita Wong, the host of CNBC's On the Money. Thank you again for being with us.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
And stay right where you are. We'll be back with a little more dollars and cents right after this.